Johnny Romero here again, tuned in with Intersys. This hashtag More Than Bilingual series went well beyond the language that these different individuals speak. Now, we talk about food and mofongo battles and challenges. Wanda Colon, episode 12. If you haven't watched it, check it out. But, all joking aside, it was just a lot of fun to see how music and all of these different cultural elements play a real important role in how we interpret the world. So we hope you enjoyed the series. If you haven't, enjoy the following highlights. Let us know which one's your favorite. And we look forward to seeing you follow us in 2025 with this hashtag More Than Bilingual. Please follow us on your preferred platform, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. And until then, are you tuned in?
Having that connection and having the parents that I did that really, they came here from Puerto Rico, they came to the States and they had to learn English and they had to try to fit in and they had to try to become successful against all odds. But what I love is that they showed us that work ethic, yes. But they never, ever denied who they were. Like they were so proud of their heritage and their culture. And that was so important to them. Right. And I feel so fortunate, because the States, it's who isn't an immigrant, right? It is a huge melting pot, but people, you forget where you come from. And so my parents really instilled that in us, and I'm so grateful for it. And
I started when I was a kid, when I was in primary school. And I really enjoyed it. So I realized during those years that I wanted to do this as a job, that I wanted to work in the field of foreign languages and foreign cultures, because I felt that foreign languages were actually quite easy for me. I wasn't struggling with that. So, and I really enjoyed English. And yes, I kept on studying during the middle school and high school. In high school, I also started studying Spanish and French. I fell in love with Spanish. Then I started university and I studied English and Portuguese, just as you. Nice. Yes. The thing that actually was a real game changer, I think, was my Erasmus period in England. I spent about 4 months in Birmingham. And there I had a really nice time. It was really the best time of my life. I learned a lot from the academic, but also from personal point of view. Yes, I learned a lot of the slang words. So I felt like it really changed everything for me from the linguistic point of view, of course. And after my bachelor's degree, I started studying for my master's degree, and there I actually had to switch to Spanish and I had to leave Portuguese. It was really a shame. So I think that my next language is going to be Portuguese. I wanted to start again. And then after my master's degree, I decided, because I never stop, I decided to go to Madrid, Spain for 4 months again, because I wanted to strengthen my interpretation skills in Spanish especially. So I packed basically with my boyfriend and I left for Madrid. And there I took a specialization course in interpreting for 4 months with some really special colleagues and really special professors. I'm really grateful to them. And that was really a very nice experience.
Okay, honestly, when I was a kid, I was fascinated with English. That's how it all started. I know that nowadays it's not a big thing because everyone speaks English, but when I was a kid, it was a different story. It was not that common, not that popular. So
sure.
Actually, at school, like in the low grades, we didn't study any foreign language. So basically, I decided to go for private classes for English. And then I started, I was so passionate and I was so hardworking that 2 years in a row I managed to earn a scholarship, which was covering my classes for the next year. And I was so proud of this. But I've always wanted to translate. This was actually, because in the beginning it started as a side job, I would say, or as a hobby. Even in university, my first translation, it was 2 books that I got as a project. So I was doing it as a side hustle, and I really enjoyed it. And at that time, there was no Tradus, there was no Captos. It was just me, Microsoft Word typing, and just using the dictionaries that I had available, paper ones or soft copies, but that was it.
So I'm based in Slovenia right now for the last 5 years. Previously, I lived also in Germany for 5 years. In between, also in Italy for 1 year. But I am from Slovenia, and my first language is Slovenian. I speak German, English, Croatian, and now also learning Greek language.
Good.
I think both translation and interpretation was coincidence. It was not planned. My family spoke German. We were encouraged to learn German language in the school. We had German and English. And when I started to work, I was very good in German language, and I started to work for German companies who were in Slovenia. So this was my first contact with translation. I started to translate contracts, meetings, and everything for them. And this is where everything began.
Quando eu era criança, eu tinha uns tios que estavam emigrados na Alemanha, estiveram a viver na Alemanha uns 5 ou 6 anos, e quando regressaram de vez, eu era pequena e ia várias vezes à casa deles, ao fim de semana, e às vezes eles falavam uma palavra ou outra em alemão, e eu achava aquilo, uau, que giro! E acabaram por me ensinar a contar até 10 em alemão. Também tenho um irmão mais velho, 7 anos mais velho, que ele sempre preferiu o francês, gostava de falar francês, e então, para brincar comigo, porque eu não falava às vezes francês, porque sabia que eu não percebia nada, e era para dizer, olha, pronto, está a brincar comigo porque eu não percebia nada. Mas queria perceber. E lá está, penso que desde criança comecei era as coisas básicas de aprender a contar até 10, dizer olá, adeus em alemão, francês e assim. Mas lembro-me perfeitamente, quando estava no secundário, eu penso que é o 9º ano, em Portugal, ter uma disciplina que se chamava Técnicas de Tradução, algo assim. E eu percebi, como eu gostava de línguas, mas não queria ser professora. Isso eu sabia, que não queria ser professora. Então descobri aquela disciplina, técnicas de tradução, e percebi, isto existe. E há uma profissão que é ser tradutora, fantástico, então é isto que eu quero ser. E pronto, basicamente desde o meio do secundário, que é o 9º ano, que eu decidi o que queria ser, escolhi, estudei, tirei o curso de tradução.
Right. My parents used to own a translation agency that they bought in 1973 and kept for 19 years. So one could say that I fell into it when I was little. I was exposed to multilingualism and multiculturalism from a very early stage on, and I loved the editing and the translation industry feel. So after my studies and a short stint in finance, I felt not very comfortable, not very at home, and decided to set myself up as a freelance translator, and originally starting with agencies. So I was contacted by a Montreal agency. I drove to their offices, passed the test, took a test, passed it. And then I met the president, who asked me questions. And she said during the interview, I noticed that you never studied translation. Is that correct? Yes, it is. She said, do you have any prior experience as a translator? Well, a teeny tiny bit of experience with my parents' agency. And then she replied, can you start this afternoon? I said, sure, I can start this afternoon. So that was 24 years ago, and I never stopped since.
El sitio, su información de contacto, 7 Voices. El nombre, 7 Voices, ¿cuál fue la inspiración del nombre?
Mis 6 hijos y yo.
Okay.
Así de fácil. Ahora, como buena empresaria, le empieza uno a buscar 6 patas al gato, ¿no? O como buena mujer, no sé, como el que lo quieran ver, pero, o como buena hispana o lo que sea, pero también 7 voces es las voces en las que trabajo con voiceovers refugiados para poner sus voces en recursos, ya sea de non-profits, for-profits, federales, para que la gente de su comunidad entienda. No, a muchos de ellos no les gusta estar en cámara, entonces hacerlo con su voz pues es bonito y no tienen que ser profesionales. Les ayuda a que saquen un poco sus emociones, pero funciona. Son 7 lenguajes, son también 7 servicios. Cuando los sumas todos, interpretación, traducción, voiceover, broadcaster, ya me faltan 2, pero bueno, son 7. Cuando he visto que es algo 8, le pongo 7 más 1 para que sea 7 siempre. Pero la razón principal, esas son las patas del gato. La razón principal es mis 6 hijos y yo, porque lo que me impulsa a pensar en mi vida en un futuro. Soy una persona muy creyente y tengo la plena conciencia de que algún día no voy a estar acá y no sé si es mañana o en 30 años. Lo que tengo claro, no me gusta planear mucho. Soy muy organizada, pero no me gusta planear mucho el futuro. Pero me gusta disfrutar el proceso. Yo debo confesar que no tengo una meta clara porque me fascina disfrutar el proceso. Y yo tenía claro que lo que me impulsaba a poner esa extramilla que requiere sacrificio, rechazos, equivocaciones, también éxitos, alegrías, satisfacciones y todo lo negativo y positivo existe, era por mis hijos. Era para poderles dar una mamá que no iba a estar sentada en un computador aburrida haciendo lo que no le gustaba el día de mañana y que realmente disfrutaba el proceso de seguir sus pasiones y el ejemplo que ellos han visto en eso, porque de eso se trata la vida, ¿no? Que ellos vean que aunque la vida es difícil, también tiene cosas lindas y perseverando se logran muchas cosas importantes.
Definitivo.
Te cuento que mis orígenes tienen un inicio bastante jocoso. Pues te cuento que mi abuela, de parte de madre, fue profesora durante 40 años y tú sabes cómo dice el dicho, la experiencia nunca se improvisa. Y desde pequeña, aparentemente yo comencé a hablar, mis primeras palabras fueron en inglés, como con 1 año, etcétera, y mi abuela de una vez dijo que yo iba a ser traductora simultánea cuando yo fuera grande.
Wow.
Y se pasó diciéndomelo yo con 3, 4 años, entonces imagínate, yo soy una niña y estoy oyendo a esta vieja decirme, tú vas a ser traductora simultánea cuando tú seas grande, y yo me estoy quedando, como decimos aquí en República Dominicana, como el primer guandul. I'm like, what?
Wow.
Yo aprendí a hablar inglés con el telecable, o sea, cable TV. Y realmente nunca fui a una clase de inglés, nada, o sea, siempre he sido bilingüe desde que tengo uso de mi memoria. Mis familiares y tíos, aprovechando esa destreza lingüística mía, me decían como que, mira, compramos un electrodoméstico, ven, traduce. O sea, me ponían a leer las instrucciones en inglés para tratar de convertirlas a algo que ellos entendiesen al español. Wow. O sea, que vamos a decir que indirectamente me programaron para ser intérprete.
Exactamente. Mira, qué bien. Una capacitación desde una temprana edad, básicamente. Wow.
Más o menos.
¿Y te gustó? Obviamente.
No, me encantó. O sea, en aquel entonces la televisión era más educativa y sí te puedo agradecerle a toda la programación de The Disney Channel y Nickelodeon en aquel entonces, que era contenido que enriquecía el léxico, era contenido que ayudaba a cultivar nuestra mente, nos despertaba un acervo cultural.